I'm thinking to myself, when I see Aspen Ladd stand on that scale, like, how is the California State Athletic Commission letting that woman fight?
Well, and yeah, I can tell you this, and I can't get into detail on it, but I do know that it didn't really have to do so much with her weight. There was some other factors involved with it. The doctor was there. The doctor told the athletic commission, who he's working for, said, "Hey, look at she's not that dehydrated. She's pretty hydrated. She's got other issues right now, and that was causing her a problem because of the cut." And so she was trying to work through those problems, and it
Got
was
it.
it was a bad situation for her as far as the way she was feeling and having certain things going on. But it really wasn't so much the water or the weight that she had lost.
Yeah.
So that's why she was allowed to fight.
Yeah, I've seen this a couple times with females because I've trained a couple female boxers for like
Yeah.
Golden Gloves, things like that. They have their monthly cycle, and next thing you
Yep.
know, they try to dehydrate just a little bit. They're retaining water, but they also start to cramp a lot more heavily, like
Yep.
in the abdomen area, and it just makes it harder for them to stand upright. So when she's stepping on the
Exactly.
scale, if that was the issue, then I can understand
That
completely what the
that
issue was.
yeah, that was the issue right there. Is I don't want to get into poor Aspen's
Yeah,
personal life, but
yeah,
it really wasn't the water and the weight. It was she was having
yeah.
other issues, and so you gotta look at everything. And guys don't have to go through certain things,
No,
girls do. And I sometimes I look at them, and it's such a hard position to be in because it is hard to lose the weight if you're on that.
yeah.
And then if you've done that, and then you can get into this where you start having body cramps that they're almost debilitating. So I felt
Yeah.
bad for her.
Yeah, not that I would know what that feels like.
Yeah, I
But
don't either, and I don't want
I
to.
can't imagine, honestly, especially after losing the weight and then trying to stand up in front of all those people and get on the scale. No, man, I just, yeah. Yeah, I tip my hat to all the females that have to go through that. Like I said, I've trained a couple girl boxers, and they've just so happened to be boxing or having to make weight right on their cycle, and
Yeah, not
it's
easy.
brutal. Yeah, they're brutal, and yeah, I've seen it before with what's it called, when Gina Carano and Cyborg had fought a long time ago. One of them was going through the same issue at that time and having a hard time making the weight, and they were struggling to get the weight down. So I remember
Yep.
having that conversation back in the Strikeforce days. So
Yeah.
to touch on more of that with Aspen Ladd in giving your referee's expert opinion, I wanted to talk to you. I felt that when I watched the UFC, that there was a ton of early stoppages. Is that something that the commissions are starting now to do, or is it just happened to be that that group that night was just they saw something,
Well,
maybe they made it early stoppages, or the way the fighters were falling, it looked like it was early. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
well, it comes down to just about most commissions, most big commissions, they're going to have almost a stated policy of, hey, we want you to stop it one punch early rather than one punch late. Okay, and that's because they're there saying we don't want to have the fighter hurt. If you look at them, you're saying they're not able to protect themselves, then we want you to stop that fight. Don't let them get hit again. So, to say, I talked to Beltran about the Uriah Faber versus Ricky Simon fight,
Simone,
and he told me, and sometimes you don't know. It's hard to see because on tape, watching on TV, I can't really see Ricky go out.
yeah.
And Mike tells me, John, he went out. He got hit with a shot, and I see him go out, and I'm dropping down, and he got hit again, and he came right back. And that happens,
Yes, I
And
know.
I had that one fight. I had Nick Diaz against Paul Daly, and if I ever wished that a camera was in place to see a guy's face, it was in that fight because in that one, Paul Daly gets hit with just one right hand after he'd been hit with a lot of shots and had made it through everything.
Hmm.
And he's on the ground. He gets hit with one right hand, and his right eye is looking straight up at Nick, and his left eye just does a left-hand turn off to the side of his head. I stopped the fight, and people are like, "Why did you stop it?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm telling you, his eye just turned in his
Yeah,
head," and it's like, you wish you could show people those things
yeah.
of what you see that sometimes the camera just doesn't pick up.
That I tell people this all the time. That was the greatest one round fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
The
I agree with
greatest
you.
1-round fight I'd ever seen
I
in my
agree.
life.
That is the best round ever in MMA overall.
Yep. Hands down. Yeah, I just I
Unbelievable.
wasn't sure if it was something that maybe the commissions are trying to watch more of, maybe in California. I wasn't sure. It just felt like there was a lot of early stoppages. Jermaine's fight seemed like it was stopped a little early. I could see why, because Aspen Ladd went down on all fours. She didn't really respond until
You
she
know,
kind of got shoved
I'm
over
going to
to
tell
her
you this,
back.
and when you're watching that fight, and this, I tell other referees this all the time, and it's hard because when you're Herb, you're seeing she got hit with a huge right hand,
Hmm.
and Jermaine can swat for a
Yeah,
girl. I mean, she's beating up guys
she
all
knocked
the
out. She
time,
knocked a guy out in boxing.
damn straight. So I mean,
Yeah,
she can swat, and when Aspen goes down, there comes times when, as the referee inside, you see the person, they're done.
yeah,
And there's times when you sit there, and I've talked to you about this, I've got to let you take one more
yep,
because I got to let everyone see that, yep, you're not going to come back from this. And they get hit and they go either unconscious, and everyone goes, oh, great job. And you go, I know I should have stopped that one earlier because they didn't need to take that one. And that's really what you had with her stoppage is, Herb just didn't let her take that one. And in the end, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, you know what, that was an early stop. And yeah, it was a little bit early. It was early as far as, you're looking, could he have let it go longer? He could have. But for her health, for her career,
hmm,
in the end, she wasn't going to make it past what happened after that big right hand. And I would just say that, just on to the next. It's okay.